What's up guys, this is ScherBR talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I bring you news for months in SaGa Universe, and we have the announcement of 2 new banners, and like I said, this is gonna be common, so I'll be used to that, and we have the information about the first banner, Romancing Festival, Undine, and Volcano. This banner here brings Undine, a defensive buffer, Volcano, a damage dealer, and Ellen, another damage dealer, but Ellen does have a defensive passive now, alongside a gimmick that will give her BP. This banner is easily skippable by those that have Tank Gustav and don't need an Axe user. Well, most people need an Axe user, but I'll be discussing this later. Then we have the second banner that brings Shaw and Muse as the protagonists, and Muse is actually a mage that can act much like Melissa. She buffs similar status. Well, it's an alternative to Matriarch, where you can use them together. And there is Shaw. He is a damage dealer with some gimmick about chasing with a 4S attack. That's actually okay. I think they will change it to make him even better. And Dream Eater is a character that can inflict sleep, and he is really bad. Okay, now we need to discuss the events. There are 2 versions of the events here, called Mages of Mazos, Undine Request, and Volcano's Request. It's nice because we'll be able to get more gems. And it seems like one of the events will be focused on gold pieces, as you can see here. The HP cap will be increased to 2450. Remember, that's always 10 more than they show. There's a new mage robe, and the other event has a new mage robe as well. One is made for Undine, one is made for Volcano, but you can use it in any mage anyway. Here it seems to be more focused on other drops, but lots of gold pieces too. Well, with all that said, we need to discuss something else. The Spiral Corridor will be temporarily closed. It usually happens when they will add more stages or new characters from Spiral tickets. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think it's a little earlier than expected. But the bad thing is, you'll not be able to grab your free gens on the 19th. I don't know when they will return with Spiral Corridor, but we'll keep an eye on this. So, since I said we already have the information on the neat banner, let's go and check Reddit. On a post by Hans43, once again thank you so much for the amazing job. We got information from the Taiwanese video, and he translated and compared to JP versions of the styles. As you can see, Ellen has very high SCR, the highest one in the game right now. She had a buff to Will, that's nice. Well, her endurance is kinda bad, but she was always bad for endurance status in all of her styles. Agility is okay in my opinion, but we saw better status distributions in the past. And as for passives, the first one, on turn begins, she gets Morale up, increasing damage by 25% for 1 turn. It's bad because this will not stack with other Morale ups, especially from characters like Gustave. It would be better to have an attack boost. Then she buffs her SCR by 15%. The second passive, weak attack increases by 30% and she recovers 2 BP by the start of battle. I would much prefer on the end of a turn. Then we have Intrinsic X, increasing damage potential by 20%. Resist damage is reduced by 40%, and she has 37% chance to evade resist damage. So you still have to equip her to resist enemy attacks, but that's good because Ellen finally has a way to protect herself better on Remembrance. Now for skills, the first one is a C-Power attack that has Slash and Blunt and recovers HP by around 1000. Well, another good thing for Remembrance. The second skill is a random attack, you cannot choose the target, hits twice with Slash and Blunt damage, and buffs STR by 25% on each hit. This is Yo-Yo Plus, so characters that have access to this, like Black and others, will be able to use it and just self-buff as well. I believe that Sith also has access to this, so it will be very useful for many characters on Remembrance. Skill number 3 is a column Slash and Blunt attack with double S power, and this one is nice because you can only use it 5 times per battle. It gives her plus 1 BP by the end of a turn, permanent in battle. That means that if you can use this like 5 times, she will have 8 BP per turn. But man, that's gonna take a while. When you use this on the start of the fight, well, the next turn she's already getting 4. That means that you need 3 more turns in order to use the second time. And then after that, you'll be getting 5. That means that you still need 3, but you, well, have some surplus, and eventually she's just gonna get more and more. But the attack itself is not that good. It could have been a 4S attack because, well, she's gonna be used mostly for remembrance, and that matters more if you had a single target attack. But it's still okay, I guess. This is useful if you are planning on summoning her future style. Either Yo-Yo Plus or the Column attack have some gimmicks to make the future style better. Well, many people still need X units, but if you do not need the next unit, well, you should skip Ellen. The next unit is Undine, and they buffed Undine well. Higher endurance, intelligence, and will. It's good because her endurance was pretty bad, and she got a little more damage alongside more resistance to ailments and stuff. For passives, on the end of a turn she recovers HP, odd turns she gets 2 BP, and even turns she gets a buff to endurance, agility, and intelligence. So better damage, better accuracy, and higher endurance than she needs. Then the second passive is Cold Attack increases 30% for the whole squad. That's right, remember when I talked about Selma and Will giving 30% damage increase to the party for specific elements? That's appearing again, and it will probably appear in many future styles. It's the way of making characters more relevant when sorrowing comes. She also gets 1 BP by the end of a turn, so essentially a 5 BP per turn character. Also, something to note, this passive is the same one as Melissa, but with different status buff. Well, in her case it's will based, and in the case of Undine it's endurance based. She also has our wall defense 6, decreasing damage taken by 40% at all times. Very nice and easier to use than intrinsic passives. As for skills, we have Cure Water, a 1 BP skill that deals cold damage and will recover around 1.2 thousand HP. The second one is a single target attack with A power that grants defense boost to all surviving allies. It's also fast. Defense boost small is minus 15% damage taken. But this skill is not even that important because the third one is the one that you will be using at all times. This time for 10 BP you have a full AoE attack with B power, it was buffed, with cold and lightning damage. It is also fast. It will give defense boost medium and guard up medium to all surviving allies. Each effect decreases damage taken by 25%. Defense boost stacks with other defense boosts, but guard up does not stack with other sources. That means that you will not be able to bring another guard up to increase the resistance. So she clashes with people like Tank Gustav and Time. And she was made for people that miss it out on Tank Gustav. He is still the better option because, okay, he does not do damage, just like Barbara, but he gives higher buffs. I believe that Muse is the direct replacement of the latest Barbara, because she uses 12 BP in order to apply defense boost and guard up, and she does not do anything else, she just keeps charging. But she also applies ailment resistance. But in the end, Undine self-heals, has our wall defense, something that Barbara doesn't have, and buffs different status. So, really good, not better than Tank Gustav, but useful for people that miss it out on the full build of Gustave. Now, moving on, we have Volcano, and they buffed Agility, Intelligence, and Will for the character. Okay, values, I guess. Moving for passives, the first one increases heat attacks for the whole squad by 30%. Again, the same as Undine, but for heat attacks, and 1 BP by the end of a turn. Then he has High Protect Tension that decreases damage taken by 30%, increases damage potential by 20%, and Great Battle Tension increases by 30% and gives him 1 BP by the start of turn. I don't know why they didn't change this, but we'll see why later. Maybe he will get some inheritance option that will make it matter. Now moving to Volcano, this guy here has now good agility, intelligence, and will. They buffed those 3 status. Endurance is not that great, but it doesn't matter too much since he's a mage and they are all fragile anyway. First passive is just like Undine but for heat. Damage increases by 30% for all surviving allies when attacking with heat damage, then recovers 1 BP by the end of a turn. Then he has High Protect Tension that increases damage potential by 20 and reduces damage taken by 30. Great Battle Tension gives him 30% at all times and start the fight with 11. So he has 80% damage passives and gives 30 to the party. In the case of Undine, she has at least 30%, but she is just a support unit. Volcano was made for damage. Now, skill number 1 is C power and will always buff his intelligence by 25% and has a 25% chance to buff intelligence of everyone else. Then skill number 2 is a C power attack with 7 BP that has a chance to decrease the enemy intelligence by 30% and can also stun the target. And will cleanse sleep for all surviving allies. This was made just for a fight that we'll get and makes no sense after. Then the third skill is a AoE attack with 8 power and 10 BP cost. So he starts with 11 but he does not need. But maybe some inheritance option will make difference because of that 11 BP. A damage dealer with nothing much to offer. Compared to Blue, he is very, very weak. So in the end, we have 3 different units in this banner, and I believe Undine is the only one that is really, really worth. Because she tries to replace Barbara, it's an improvement, and thank Gustav for those that don't have him. Thank Gustav is still the superior unit, in my opinion. He does not do damage, but what he offers is much better. But she can replace. Well, it's an alternative, but an inferior one. She will receive a triple S grade. And then for Volcano, he's just a simple damage dealer that he will easily find replacements. He is an SS grade now and will just be demoted faster than the other characters. As for Ellen, I think it's okay if you like the character. She has at least the damage reduction, so for our remembrance she will help out, but for other content she doesn't work. You may want this style if you plan on summoning her future one that has a gimmick related to Leon of charging attacks, but you probably have a chance to summon this version on a rerun, and the next Ellen, although benefits from this one, doesn't really require it to work on premium levels. So I don't recommend pulling on this banner right now, even if you don't have Thank Gustav or Barbara. Wait a little, see what they will offer, but this banner will receive a Bronze Plus award. I'll be making the full review tomorrow, so stay tuned on the channel. But that's my opinion. What is yours? Please see here in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and if you want to support the channel, we need your help. Use the links on the description. I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye.